Cosmos Creative Television presents the following program. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. This program includes sensitive subject matter that is not appropriate for younger audiences.
Hello.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up? There he is.
Welcome.
There's the man.
Yeah.
So, you know what? If we're going to be random like this, I'm going to revert back to the previous topic that I was on with Rory. Rory Penland does a whole lot of stuff in our community. And so Rory, and I mean, I don't know, you can get as detailed as you want or not as detailed as you want, but like, just take Big Monster Briefing Room just as a for instance, and tell us the amount that goes into that, because I know in my heart, and I knew watching it, that you put a lot of effort into that, spend a whole lot of time putting that together before the fact. So tell us a little something about Big Monster Briefing Room outside of Big Monster Briefing Room that is coming from Rory Penland and not Howitzer.
It is a labor of love. When I came up with the concept of it way back in the day, I didn't think it was going to be this time consuming. And you see that I'm doing 2 a week some weeks. So I got to love it.
That started to confuse me, because I knew originally you had a very specific schedule every week. Yeah. And then I was seeing you in other time spots, and I was like, oh my God, I'm missing this thing. I didn't even know it was happening.
It's getting to the point where it's getting harder for me to find guests for Tuesdays. It's casual. So, I'm doing that only like half a month now, and the other 2 weeks I'm doing extra Big Monster Briefing Room, because I really think that when all's said and done, after we decide to put it to bed, that's really what's going to get the most viewers, and it's going to please the most people, the largest audience. My feeling, because horror movies, scary movies, monster movies, a lot of people love those. And we haven't found a huge audience yet, but I mean, there are a couple of videos that are over 1,000 hits. One, King Kong versus Godzilla, that's got like almost 5,000 hits now.
On it. So I think part of that is I noticed that when you start talking about King Kong or like just that general, like, overall genre of movies, that kind of feels to me, and I'm like, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that feels like where you're the most informed and the stuff that you've retained the most over time, because it really feels like you know all the details of those things.
Again,
like,
I grew up watching the Godzilla films and King Kong, and the 1950s movies like Them and the Tarantula and the Black Scorpion and all those other big monster. They call them kaiju films in Japan. So yeah, that's how we started out with the show. Was we were just going to do big monsters, and then I said, you know what, we could expand upon this. We can do zombie films, we can do vampire films, werewolf films, ghost movies, whatever, and get away with it. And I mean, the farthest stretch of the imagination was I wanted to get Fred Bowman on the show, and
I would love to see him on your show.
I'm not a big fan of monster movies. I said, well, what are you a fan of? He goes, well, I love Monty Python. And I said, well, there's monsters in Monty Python and the Holy Grail. We could probably do Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So there is an episode, with Fred Bowman, where we did Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
And I did not see that episode. I'll have to look for it, but that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah.
It was a very fun show. But we're on like show 128 tomorrow. So we've done a lot of them.
That's a lot. Wow.
Each movie,
and every single one of them. Yep, that's what I was about to say.
Movie, which takes about 3 to 4 hours, and then I've got to put them into a PowerPoint presentation to run on the show, a timeline I call it, and because we can't run the clips, we can't run the movie because it's copyright, but you can run pictures. You can do a slideshow because all of that is considered to be promotional material.
And then, and sometimes you go the extra distance and you even colorize the thing, you know?
Oh yeah. If it's a black and white film, I feel that we should do the color version for everybody, you know. So we showed Godzilla in its entirety, the original Godzilla from 1954, in color. And sometimes I luck out and I find a colorized version of the film, like the other couple weeks, maybe a week ago. We did It Came From Beneath the Sea, and they had already colorized it.
Other people already have that interest in mind. Like, let's put some color to it, and that's
Turner
good.
Broadcasting already got their hands on it, and they colorized it. So the same with King Kong, the original King Kong, they had colorized it already. I didn't have to colorize it. So that's what gave me the idea to do the colorization of it. When I found a program, and it's called Colorize, that would take pictures and colorize them. I said, you know what? I would love to see the old Universal monster movies in color, especially Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, which was one of the first ones we did. And it was beautiful. I mean, it was great in color. And a lot of people go, oh, well, you shouldn't colorize black and white movies because it's art. And I'm like, well, you know, if these movie studios had the money to do it in color, they probably would have done it in color. You know,
like you know what, like actually, that's kind of sort of along the same lines of like like in everything that people nerd out on, like, and are excited about, there's always like purists. There's the people that are the purists in that, you know, and it's kind of like what has happened with like the Marvel and DC movies and that sort of thing, where like you have some people that are going to be the purists and they're going to just hate whatever the studios do with the thing. They're just going to hate it because it's not what the comic books did, or, you know, like there's going to be some stupid tiny difference where they're going to be like, nope, I hate it, absolutely hate it.
And in the beginning, there was a lot more work for me because I would have to go through each individual slide and prep it and shrink it to get it ready for the timeline. It would take forever to do a show. But luckily, I found a batch file program called Pixelian that does all of that for me. So it takes all of the files and makes it down to like 50%, in just a minute, like a minute. So that saved me hours of work now.
The tools that we're being presented with right now, especially now that they're involving AI analyzation in these tools and stuff, it's just it's amazing. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's just going to get better and
better.
But
no, like I will say 100% for sure, from my perspective, I'm a computer nerd. I know the kind of work that goes into things, and I've watched your show, and it's very obvious that there's time that goes into that. A lot of time.
And again, because I love these films so much, because I love them. Yeah, when I screenshot, I don't just screenshot 400 or 500 pictures. It's usually over 1,000. I just did John Carpenter's The Thing, which is going to be in a couple of weeks, and it was 1,300 slides. You know, I mean, it's one of those movies that I just love. It's a
lot, yeah.
Every angle of it, and
then you get Renee Yarwowski bitching at you because you have too much stuff and like it's like overwhelming the system or whatever because you made too many. You made too many, man. We need less. It's too much stuff. Like we need less
stuff. I have to keep
stuff.
the slide presentation down to about 150 slides, otherwise we go over time.
No.
And it crashes her computer. I won't say it crashes her computer, but yeah, it's hard for her. If I do 175 slides.
To be fair, I only witnessed one show where that happened. The rest of the time,
Correct.
it's always
You
worked out
were
perfect.
absolutely correct. It only happened. She only
one show.
got on to me one time
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, and it was. She was like, "There's too much. There's too much." She was like Scotty on Star Trek. Yeah, she was like,
It's gonna blow, Captain.
It's gonna blow. That was Renee for that episode, and it was fine though. But yeah, no. But that alone like just shows
that was Mothra
amount that you
versus
put into
Godzilla.
that, yeah.
I guarantee you that's what it was. Because again, I'm a huge fan of the old Godzilla films, so I know that's what it was.
It probably was. I don't specifically recall like which exact episode it was, but that sounds about right. Yeah.
But yeah, if you go back to our first episode, it was Day of the Triffids. It's only like a 25-minute show, and the timeline's much shorter. And at that time, in the first season, I used to write out actual shtick for I'd go through and like write actual lines and stuff on a notebook to say as General Howitzer. But after a while, I was like, I don't have the time to do all of this. So.
Yeah,
from season 2 on, I just improvised.
I can imagine. I feel like, and you're involved. You're involved in a lot of things, Rory, and
yes.
you're great. You're a great presence in everything that you're involved in. But I can definitely tell that Howitzer. It's so easy for me to look at that and that's
Howitzer is a character.
A lot of work. That's a lot of work. Yeah. And I also love additionally though that everybody else that joins you for that show is also in character. Good stuff. Fun stuff. I love it. Good.
Yeah, they're most of the time.
Some people do a better job than others. Some people break character.
We have Scott Hardy coming on as his character JD Moore when we do Men in Black in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be fun, I think.
You're going to do Men in... See, like that was actually going to be my next question because what I witness mostly is that you're covering really old movies, and I'm not a young person. So obviously I've been through all that. But like I always try to be somebody that's open to everything that's happening, that's newer and that sort of thing. And so like I was curious.
We're taking a bigger chance with copyright when we do a newer film.
That makes sense to me. That makes sense.
We got away with Cocaine Bear, which we did a couple of months ago.
That was a newer one, and I enjoyed that episode immensely. That was super fun. I enjoyed being there for that. Yeah.
Next season, there's going to be some more new movies. Renfield with Nicolas Cage as Dracula is going to be next season. Mm-hmm. There's going to be some others. Yeah, I've already done the season 6 opener. Renee and Manny have seen it. Awesome. I'm having some problems with my editor company. The company that sold me the editing suite is trying to charge me again for it, even though I had supposedly an unlimited membership.
Yeah.
But somehow it was upgraded, and now they're saying, "Oh, well, you got to pay extra for the upgrade." And I'm like, "Well, no, I didn't upgrade it. I like what I had, so I like version 12. So." So I'm fighting with them now, and I'll have it all worked out before we get into next season because we've still got about 10 or 12 movies before we get into next season. So got another 2 months.
Awesome.
It's going really well on YouTube, isn't it?
It depends. It depends on what we do. If we do an older movie like a classic, we're getting a couple of hundred hits, on it. Like he said, there was the colorized ones get hit a lot because they haven't seen them in color. 20 Million Miles to Earth was the first one that we did that really started to get a lot of hits right away, and it got hundreds, and now it's in the thousands. And again, King Kong and Godzilla are very popular today with young people, so they're going in there to see what that's all about, and then they realize, oh, it's the old one.
Yeah.
they probably don't stay long, but hey, we get the view, you know. So again,
Yeah.
it's nice to have like 5,800 views on one of my videos, you know. That's nice. I can tell people, hey, you know, we're getting thousands of hits. So
I want to be on. I haven't been on that show in a while, Rory. Do you?
we had you on for Gremlins, right?
The Gremlins, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
We'll probably be doing Gremlins 2 before too long.
Sandie's in the comments.
And I don't know what other movies we can have you
Did
on
we ever
for.
do Poltergeist? I have a lot to say about
Yeah,
Poltergeist.
Ruby Ray Moore did that one.
Oh, okay. I love Poltergeist.
Usually
about-
she
okay,
does Stephen King, but yeah, we had her on for that one.
Can I put me in for, like, you know, even if I have to wait a year, it's fine. Put me in for a future show with about the land before time. It's about the dinosaurs. It's a cartoon version for the kids.
Oh, I don't know if we're gonna
Very
do that
sad
one.
cartoon.
Yeah.
I want to do that one.
That's like a
Sign
Disney
me up.
film, right?
No, it's not Disney. It's not.
It kind of is.
It's a Don Bluth, but it's like Disney.
Might as well
Land
be.
Before Time. I want to do that one. They're big monsters. It's
Now
about
the
big
Land
monsters.
That Time Forgot with Doug McClure. Hello, I'm Troy McClure. You probably know me from such movies like. That's where they got him from. Anyway, give me a second here. I have 12 seasons planned out already, but again, everything is not written in stone.
I wait a year. I will
See,
wait a year.
that's a massive portion of your work too, is that you plan ahead so massively.
Put me out in next year.
Well, again, I just started to see what I had as far as movies that I already had, you know, that needed to be done, and I was like, wow, this is going to take a while.
That's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, and there are a lot of movies that I know, that I was like, oh my God, how can I forget those? You know, like the Freddy Krueger films, I'm going to have to put those in, you know, and Gabby Moore was coming on for those.
I love her. I haven't heard from her in so long.
I haven't heard from her either. If you had to guesstimate for a 1 hour episode of Big Monster Briefing Room, how much time do you think that you typically invest in watching a movie, making the clips, and
if it's a longer movie like the Thing was like an hour and 47 minutes, it's going to be 8 to 9 hours probably.
I believe it. Yeah.
Sounds... If it's a shorter movie, like a lot of the older ones are like an hour and 20 minutes, you know, like I just did Godzilla Raids Again, which I have to colorize. That's going to be, you know, 7 hours, but I have to colorize it. So that's going to take another 4 hours, you know, so.
Come get a box, Renee, come get a box.
Is Renee here? I'll go as far to say
Renee's always in the box.
She's as far as prep time goes and working ahead and planning, I don't think, you know, I think that you deserve a Cosmos Award just for Big Monster Briefing Room because there's not really,
y'all can nominate him.
Yeah, there's not really a lot of other content that requires that much foresight. Like most of it kind of happens in the moment, you know, and so like I definitely think that the amount of work that you're putting in is awesome, and the fact that you continue to do it, then
Renee's
obviously you love it, but we also know that it takes a lot of your time and effort, and I think it's impressive, Rory. Like for
me,
he's a natural though. He wakes up like this. He wakes up like this.
Yeah,
it's natural. It's in his blood.
I want to leave this behind. You know, I want this to be a legacy. You know, I want people to watch this years after I'm gone. Hopefully YouTube will keep it. You know,
they will likely, yeah.
And people will enjoy it.
Ross,
you know.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, what we improvise on the show, Manny and Renee and I, is fun and enjoyable to watch. And again, the characters are fun. And so
they are.
Why wouldn't
They're a lot
that
of fun.
catch on eventually? And
No,
yeah, there's
it's
always that
good
small
stuff.
hope that I could take this to a TV station and they'll go, "Wow, you've already done 125 of these."
Right.
You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so in a folder for season 6, that's next season. Godzilla versus, and we're not going to do all of these, but this is what's in the folder. Godzilla versus Gigan. Friday the 13th, part 2 and 3.
Oh, you're doing
Thank you for
new. You're doing newer-ish movies. They're not new. They're old movies by today's standards, but you're doing newer-ish. I like that. I like that because I'll be
The Exorcist.
nice.
We're gonna do the 2 Willard films with the rats, the old one and the new one together.
The rats,
hopefully. Killer Shrews, colorized already, thank God. Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Beetlejuice. We're going to do Beetlejuice.
Did you ever do Sharknado?
Really after Mario?
No.
No, I'm just curious because it's one of the most ridiculous things. Like my mom loved those type of movies, like, and so I was
Roger Corman too.
But I kind of sort of hated them. But I would sit and watch them still. Like, I don't know.
They're silly. They're just ridiculous. They're silly.
Yeah, just really ridiculous.
So, yeah, we're planning to do those maybe in season 7 or 8. And I've got 3 of them set aside. You know, 1, 2, and 3.
They're
Puppet Master. Megan is another new one that we're going to do next season.
Puppet Master movies are like massive amount of nostalgia for me. I want to be there for the Puppet Master movies. The first one was really good, and then they just kind of started down. Yeah, they got really weird. You know, I mean, it was kind of the same thing with the Hellraiser movies, where it was like, kind of cool, but then it kind of drifted off into like a lot of weirdness where it was hard to connect to it. We got
the first Hellraiser movie for next season, Evolution, because our friend Stephanie Hodges in that, and Eight-Legged Freaks, the spider movie.
Me and Renee definitely connect on the arachnophobia.
You guys have already
that one is the worst one for people who are arachnophobic.
Yeah.
You guys
giant spiders.
I think the movie Arachnophobia was more traumatic than Eight-Legged Freaks, because in Eight-Legged Freaks they were like giant monsters or whatever, but you know, in Arachnophobia they were actual tarantula spider situation. You know what I mean? Like it was more realistic.
That scene where those kids are trying to get away from the jumping spiders on their motorcycles. Oh my God! And they're only only one kid gets away. As long as you don't do Ben. We're just doing Willard with who's the guy? Oh, we just had his dad on It's Casual a couple years ago. Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover did the new one.
Yeah.
So
Glover or Glover? Is it Glover or Glover?
I think it's Glover.
Glover. Can we talk about Mario Lopez? Renee wants some real talk about Mario Lopez.
I replaced him tonight. I'm here in his place. He couldn't be here tonight, so I'm here. I'm here. So I'm sorry Mario Lopez isn't here, but I'm here in his place tonight. Yeah.
Jordan Christopher White said, I see this is where JD is hiding. Glova. Alana likes it. Glova.
Season 7.
Glover.
Godzilla battles Mothra for the Earth. That's one of the newer Godzilla films. Small Soldiers. It came from outer space. 7 Voyages of Sinbad, which I wanted to do last season, but again, it just didn't happen. Night Stalker, Terror of Mechagodzilla, Friday the 13th, the final chap. No, I'm not going to do that one. I don't think I'm going to do that The Matthew Broderick Godzilla film. And Godzilla 2. Sharknado. There's the Sharknado Fest.
Have you ever done any movies that weren't specifically monster films? Like, I mean, I don't, and I mean, I don't like, and that probably
It's
wouldn't
got to
fit
have a monster in it. That's the catch.
Yeah.
Again, we did Holy Grail, but it's got to have a monster in it. So that had the creepy bridge guy, and it had the animated monster. The animator had a heart attack. It had the killer rabbit.
Yeah.
So we were able to get away with it.
No,
but it has to have a monster.
Alana, we need you to come in and inject that into our space. You need to give us like the
That's a great question, Alana.
The documentary style movies that are like
series.
The story of actual serial killers doing their dirty deeds,
about, like Hannibal Lecter type stuff. I thought about it, but truth be told, there are so many monster movies out there that it would be way down the line when I started doing.
No, you're gonna you've already created a genre that will keep you busy for all of eternity, forever. Yes,
till I die.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure.
So Jason is a monster. He's otherworldly. So he can get away with that serial killer. The killer rabbit, yes.
Yep.
Rory says no. Again, you never know. Silence of the Lambs was something I thought about for a long time. I love that movie.
But it's not really a monster movie, right?
He is certainly a monster, but he's a human monster.
Right.
There's nothing otherworldly or what's the word I'm looking for here? Mystical. Still not a good enough word, but you know what I mean. He's of this world.
I want a crime night. Can I just show you guys the intro for Crime Night? It's like the coolest fucking intro you ever saw. I gotta show you guys the intro for Crime Night.
Sure. Do it.
It's the coolest fucking thing. Alana,
and now a commercial from our sponsor.
Back, please. I freaking love
you guys.
Crime Night.
Pay attention. Crime Night could be coming soon.
I freaking love this intro. I'm obsessed. Hold on. Wait, let me find it. It's going way back. I freaking love this. Okay, here we go. 2022, bitches.
So obviously that's your territory, Alana. You do with the human monsters. I deal with the monster.
How awesome is that intro, you guys?
It is good. I mean, and I would like to see some of that too. Like, Alana, when you're ready, we and if you need some support, I'm here for it too. Like, let's do that. That's a lot of fun too. Good stuff.
Renee proves you don't have to be on camera all the time.
Yeah.
Just put a picture up. There you go, like that.
Just like that. Sorry.
So what happened? What happened in my most primary area of interest most recently? Because if I do end up creating some sort of show, it is probably going to be focused on technology. And I was I was really focused on giving AI a face. Like I liked that presentation of it, and I was like, let me have an interview with AI where it has a humanoid face of some sort. And I got to that point, but so I'm also able to criticize that. I'm using engines that other people have developed and just trying to put them into my thing. And I thought, like, it still is a little bit robotic, doesn't have a lot of feeling to it.
Well, and
Just
that would make a great co-host. So
well,
if you do a show on technology, have an AI co-host.
well, here's the thing. Just today, I was introduced to the fact that ChatGPT, which is kind of like they're the ones at the forefront of all of this. They're just now pushing out an upgrade, and I already played with it tonight, and I spoke to it, and you can now go into this even if you're a free user, you're not paying for a premium account. They're pushing this out to their free users. You can go in and you can have a voice. You might as well call it a video chat or voice chat with Chat GPT. You can talk to it, and they've done a really good job at making it behave properly. Like, for instance, one thing that would not have functioned before, now you can be talking to Chat GPT with your voice and ask it for something, and it could be providing you an answer. You can literally interrupt it and it will change and it'll do its thing. Before, you couldn't have interrupted it. Like, it was always this like a b situation, like very rigid structure. But no, they've made it a lot more like talking to an actual person. And I was playing with that just tonight, and I'm so excited by it, even though it has no face. It doesn't have a face, and I was trying to provide a face, but the voice is so much more emotive, has more emotion to it, a lot more expressive, that I'm kind of inclined to leave my previous project behind, even though I was trying to give it a face, and just work with this voice of what AI is doing right now and use that going forward for a while until I find a better option. Because they've just introduced this massive upgrade. It's just it's amazing. It's really good, and I had fun playing with it tonight. It was great. Yeah.
There you go.
David,
Just
hey,
gonna get
David.
better.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Okay. I'm just
Hear you fine.
engaging with the chat. Chat has had a lot to say tonight, so I'm engaging with the chat while you guys are talking. And I think there's a few people that might want to join us with. I've extended the invitation for cameras off, cameras on, cameras off, whatever. If anyone is really wanting to be on screen tonight, they can come join with they don't have to have the cameras on, and they can mute themselves when they want. So it's like an open thing for the community, right?
If
David?
if somebody wants to join, that's fine.
David's all
I
about the
am-
open
That's
community.
fine.
He's all
Well,
about that.
I'm personally, I'm probably about to have to leave from here because I do have to work from. I have to work
Same here.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
here. But if somebody else wants to jump in, they're more than welcome.
Rory, though,
if
like
other people are out
for sure. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Rory, because you kind of gave for me, like, instantly when you came in, you gave me the majority of the direction for this, and so at least we had some substance to this, and I like that, and that's That's great. And I love you, Rory.
Well, thank
I
you. I
think
love you
every
too, buddy.
I think everything that you're doing, and I see the amount of work that you're putting in, and I appreciate it. I think,
Another
maybe
night. Okay.
maybe for some people from an outside perspective, they're not gonna be able to wrap their brains around the actual amount of work that you're doing, but I know it. Like, I get it. I got it very early on. I was like, this dude's putting in a lot of work.
Renee got it right away. She was like, "Oh my God, how much work are you doing on this?"
It's a lot. It's a lot.
And you're doing
No,
5 other shows. Wait a minute. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no, I see it.
but
No,
again, this one
What's
is
that
my
80s
baby.
movie, Weird Science?
It's the one I hope to be remembered for.
hmm
So that's why I do it. That, because I love it. I love these movies. Grew up with them.
Yeah.
When are we gonna bring back Painting with Rory? Is that in any next year? Maybe next year. When are we gonna?
Perhaps I gotta be in the mood to paint. And again, with the whole thing with the trivia and giving out gifts was getting to be a little hazardous for me.
Like, maybe you don't have to make it that structured. Maybe we can just
if I have
do
David can help me.
random.
David, can you help me?
You can just do random
I
shit
need help
with
the
Rory
trivia.
in the future or something. I don't know. Like, it doesn't. Maybe it doesn't have to be that structured.
No,
Maybe you
David,
don't
I
have to
just
be
need
there
help with it.
painting.
I need
Or
help with someone keeping track of the trivia, because when it comes in
Well-
on my screen, it's like a certain speed of internet, and I've had internet problems in my area where I live.
we just have to have the trivia has to be something that is looked at, like, and analyzed ahead of time instead of after the fact. And I think as long as that happens, it's
Alana
fine.
loves trivia. See, she loves the
great.
trivia.
Yeah. No,
See, I have trivia questions
and
right
I
here. My mom
see-
got me a box.
yeah.
My
People
mom
love
got
trivia.
me a
They
box
love
of
that
trivia.
shit.
She said, "This is for when you and Rory go live and you need help with the trivia." My mom got me this little box of little trivia questions.
Mm.
So there's that.
So yeah, again, on Wednesday evenings and Thursday evenings, at 10 o'clock, Sandy and I are usually doing something.
And it gets competitive. It gets really competitive. Like, the people goes, let's be honest, Rory, it gets really competitive in the trivia section, because everybody,
they're so competitive. with each
everyone
other.
gets the same answer all at once. And I have friends that sell clothing online, and I've seen the same thing happens. It's like everyone's answering because they want to get that free bra. They want to get those free pair of socks, their free earrings. So everyone's trying to answer the trivia questions.
Are those the prizes you've been offering? Because I missed that part of it, because I probably would have been.
I missed the episode with the bra.
It's like
No.
I mean,
but
I
if you
certainly
follow
missed
the
the one with
follow the
free
women that sell
socks.
clothing.
Like, I don't know. You know what, you guys?
Clothing,
I got tired of offering stickers as a
I
prize
love
every
their
week.
stickers.
So
No,
it got to be bigger stuff, it got to be books, it got to be my paintings, and those things are expensive to ship out to people, so that got to be a little bit of a problem for me, because I don't make a lot of money selling pizzas or schlepping pizzas.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly, yeah.
No.
But seriously, John Duncan and Alana Lang, you guys are hanging out with us right now. If you really watch closely and you get competitive when we start doing trivia,
it does.
You might get to get a free. You might get a free pair of socks. You might get some socks. Like, you might, like, maybe the day before you ran the dryer and you pulled your socks out, and there was like one random sock missing, and we can potentially give that back to you if you're competitive enough, and if you have that edge and you answer the question right, you might get that missing sock back. You might be okay.
Friday was actually International Missing Sock Day for just that.
I saw that.
It
Yeah,
was?
Darren Bergfield with his iceberg show. Like he made a point of pointing that out. He's great with his show. You know what? Let me do a call out. Mondays, Fridays. What do you guys know? What times exactly? I feel like he goes live at 8 a.m. like 8 a.m. Eastern time. Mondays, Fridays. Darren Bergfield, which is iceberg in the morning,
Okay.
Mondays and Fridays, and yeah, he presented the sock thing too. Like he did that. Like his news is
Alana
positive
Lang said,
news, and I love
I
that
need
dude.
to learn how to be competitive with my socks.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having
So
me on,
cute.
guys, for the after party.
You know what?
you,
Thank
Rory.
you so much for joining,
No, thank
Rory, because I just wanted in my heart to be here, but I had absolutely no idea what we were going to talk about, but just your mere presence. And I personally find myself excited about everything that you do, and I know how much you do. And so it was very easy to have conversation with you about it, like that. So that was great. So thank you
David,
for popping
Well,
in
thank
with
you for giving
us.
me a chance to talk about Big Monster Briefing Room because I usually don't get to talk
Yes,
about that
it
much.
was great. It was great. Like we
what
could
do you
do that
mean?
more often, actually.
Rory,
Like we could. I loved it.
Rory, if you have an ad, I will run it on my shows. If you have an ad, a new ad, I have a lot of old ads. They're like
Again,
2 years old. A lot of
I,
old
I
ads.
gotta I gotta hash out
Need some new ones.
what I'm doing with my editing company that does the editing software.
Fight Club socks.
Wondershare, Filmora, and once I
we
get
bring
that
Alana
straightened out,
Lang
maybe I'll
on?
send you something. Huh?
Okay. Can we bring Alana Lang on? But she can be off camera if she wants.
Sure.
She can of course join. I don't know if she's ready to though. I don't know if she wants to, but she can if she wants to.
I'm just saying. That's our in-house
Thanks again,
attorney.
guys. I'm gonna pop out here.
All right.
All
Love
right.
you, Rory.
Good night.
Much
Good
obliged.
night.
Love you
Thursday.
guys.
Rory,
Good night,
Thursday
Rory,
we got a
and
big show. Rory, I can't wait for Thursday. Big show.
thank you, dude. Thank you, dude, for joining us.
Alana
Great
My
time tonight.
Shiner.
Great
Let's
conversation.
go.
Enjoyed it.
Professional
All right.
soloist. Thursday
Tomorrow,
night. Let's
Frankenstein conquers the world.
go. Thanks, guys.
And then Thursday on the Big Monster Review Room, The Wolfman with Benicio del Toro
Another
and
night.
Anthony Hopkins.
Oh,
Both
wow.
werewolves.
Okay,
Spoiler
well,
alert. Take care. Love you too, buddy. Take care.
Good night, man. Good night.
aw, I love Rory. He's the sweetest. He's the coolest.
Me too. He's a good dude. He's a good dude, and he puts in like I would argue with the specific type of show that Rory is doing with Big Monster Briefing Room that he might be putting in more work than anybody else in our community, because that requires a lot of foresight. It requires a
Well,
lot of
there's a
time
list. I wouldn't say more than.
making
I would say
yeah,
maybe there's a
like
list.
no, I'm not trying to diminish any other shows, but I'm saying as far as overall time that he puts in a lot of time, and I was able to see that very early on, just because how his show is structured, where I was like, that's a lot of time involved. Like that's somebody that's really invested, and he's definitely he's putting in his time. Like he's doing a lot.
I'm getting
and
sleepy. I appreciate your blazer over there, David. You have a
I was really trying to and this is my only blazer, and honestly I need to buy some more because I like the look. I do, but I was trying to channel my inner Carrie, my Carrie Harrington. I was like, let me put a blazer on over a t-shirt and channel my inner Carrie, and but I don't know, like I don't do it as good as he does. Like he's a good looking dude. He looks sharp. I like his appearance a lot. He's another very impressive character in our Cosmos community, and I dig that dude a lot. A lot of fun.
Can I hold on a minute. Am I allowed to send the invite to who should I send the invite to? You tell me. This is your pop-up.
You literally just told me that you were like ready to go basically, and now you're sending invites to people. So I don't know. I personally, I mean, like if Alana popped in, Alana, a lasagna, like Alana, if she popped in, or John Duncan, that's always those two. I'm always great with them.
Okay.
They're good stuff.
Right. Okay. All right, I'm sending Alana the link.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on. Okay. Okay.
I haven't I mean it probably was about $2, John Duncan. I got it at Goodwill. That's where I got it. It's a good chance. Possibly.
Man.
It also
What, the blazer?
if I went in really close, you'd also see that all the seams are wearing out and it's like frayed and like the fabric's, drying out, and yeah, it's not. But yeah, this I wore this thing a lot at one point. And I overwore it probably.
Breakfast TV.
So, yeah.
Are you having breakfast right now, Sandie Stewart? Is it breakfast time for you?
Is Sandie Stewart here? Sandie Stewart
Sandy
needs to be in bed. If Sandie Stewart, go to bed. Go to bed, Sandie Stewart. It's like what time in the morning is it for Sandie Stewart? Somebody help me out. Sandie Stewart.
Oh my god.
Somebody will know what his local time is. He needs to be sleeping.
Yeah, I don't know. Sandie, would you like to join us? Come please join us every Thursday, but sometimes
we have a John Duncan with us though. Yeah.
We have a John Duncan in the house.
How you going?
What's up, John?
Somebody send in the eggs and bakey. Somebody send in the eggs and bakey quick. The eggs and bakey. Wakey, eggs and bakey.
Wait, I'm good.
Let's go. Come on.
Now, I had a feeling we're going to go from the conversation was going to turn to penises, but then I realized David was restraining himself.
I don't like. Is it me that's going to turn it to penises? Is that something?
No, we are not.
Like, yes.
That is not.
Like perhaps I haven't paid enough attention to my previous conversations. Do I lean towards penises? Do I do that? Like maybe I do. I'm not gonna.
You actually lean away from penises.
It's not happening
I do.
tonight. It's
okay.
not happening.
From my experience.
Let's talk about.
I'm just curious.
Not that experience together,
that's okay.
Jellyfish, things in the 80s.
So I think talking about penises is okay, Sandie, because so far we experienced just on TikTok tonight. You just don't want to talk about cocaine on TikTok, but on Facebook, I think we can talk about penises. I think that's okay. Probably.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh God, we just lost like 200,000 viewers.
We did. We totally did. We did.
I'm sorry.
Maybe we'll gain 1 million, but we lost 200,000. I don't know.
That's fine.
It's just a numbers game, numbers.
Yep.
It's fine.
John Duncan, would you know what? You know what? Actually, so like the one thing that I know.
Poetry reading. Can we get a poetry reading or some pinball or something? Pinball action?
No, I was just going to say that there's a reason why there's like, bare, like pasted over patches on the elbows and like bare threads on the cuffs. Because he got it out of my $2 bin, mate, out of the front yard.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
makes sense.
But it looks cool for certain shows and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. And like people make careers out of wearing stuff like that these days.
So,
David, you're in trouble.
But here's what I was just thinking about.
Stop while you're ahead, David. Just stop while you're ahead. Okay.
Because
don't put yourself in trouble on that bus.
Like Sandie and some other people are pushing me to have my. They're pushing me to have my show in Cosmos, and the thing is that I mean they are, and I think
it's not me.
Is it going to be like an ALA show? Like an ALA show?
Well, and that's what I'm trying to discuss right now. If you guys would allow me to.
Okay.
I think that there's a really high likelihood that the majority of my social media posts and what I'm looking to share will end up being technology and probably AI focused, because it's a massive interest of mine, and I'm super excited about it, while at the same time still being able to maintain a healthy fear of it. But
healthy
John,
fear is very necessary, mate.
Well, John, I would, if I end up going that direction and I start doing shows based around that, I would actually like really massively enjoy having the presence of somebody like you that maybe has more of a healthy fear, but also, is open-minded. I think that it would be some interesting conversations. So, maybe
sure.
in the future you would be interested in joining me when I would be very specific. I would tell you, like, in this episode, this is what I'm looking to present, and this is what we're going to discuss. And then, we could have some conversation around it. Yeah, I would like the balance, because I don't want to be in a position where I want anybody to think that I'm pushing myself as being 100% accurate or the correct influence. I would like some counterbalance, and I think that people would appreciate the whole experience more if there was a certain amount of counterbalance. And I think you could provide that.
The thing is, for me, is that like my negative response to AI so far is purely on a sort of intuitive level. I don't know what's going on with it, like technology wise, like you do, like you're across all that. Okay, but like we've spoken about this, and it's like, for me, it's like, what happens now to the poet? What happens now to the visual artist?
Yeah, and I want all those perspectives. Yeah,
and in fast time, right?
I made some posts recently where some people sort of implied where I was like telling them what they should be thinking, and in some ways I was, but then when I looked at it, I was like that's not a great way for me to be. And so I would specifically, if I start presenting AI, start discussing it, I would like a slightly different balance
frankly,
at
the
work.
only way that it's going to work is if you have people like me.
Right. And then
more
like I want people, I want
way.
I want somebody
Mhm.
to come in with a more human perspective and say, like, well, this is maybe what everybody's going to be concerned about, because that's going to be your initial response, your gut feeling. And I think that will be
Thank you,
a really,
Sandie.
I think that in even if my purpose
Stephanie
is to
Hodge. Woo, woo.
provide technology and discuss
Let's
technology,
go.
I think that would be a really beautiful balance in a way, because I think that that's what
Yeah.
most people are going to need, because a lot of people are feeling,
Exactly.
yeah, a
'Cause
lot
it's
of
so
people are
controversial,
feeling those
right?
exact same feelings, and they're like, what
Yep.
the fuck is all this? And a lot of people want to reject it. And
Yep.
I will admit that I have a massive bias towards people not
David,
rejecting it. Like, so
David, do
but
you have
I
any
need the
poetry
balance.
there that you haven't? Do you have any poetry or
Poetry?
songs that you've
I'm not
written?
I'm not a
Poetry or
poetry
songs
person. Like,
there?
I should be, like I used to
Do you have
be
any
years
songs
ago,
that
but
you've written
no.
over there?
No.
No?
No, I definitely don't know. This, I mean, we're way too far along in the night for that, Sandy. Definitely way too far along in the night for that.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
In
Well,
fact,
I'm gonna try to find a
here's
poem before you go to bed. I know you have to go to bed.
there's John, I like that you popped in a little bit later tonight,
Yeah.
and the
It's good
fact
to
that I
see you,
got to
bro.
have this. But I think I'm personally, I'm gonna go put myself to bed, because I do have to be up at 5:30 in the morning, and it is now
Oh,
12:44,
oh, sweet.
12:44 in the morning. So yeah, I can get like 5 hours of sleep. It's fine. It's great. It's great.
Oh
It's great.
no.
Oh,
But
mate.
Okay.
no,
We're gonna end it,
but
everybody. Thank you, everybody,
yeah, I
for
don't.
watching.
I
Thank
think
you.
overall it was a good stream. We had the
David,
appropriate people join at the appropriate time, and those people created
Yeah,
some
and it was great to see
fun
Rory
conversation.
and yeah, and have Rory talking about like what he's doing on
Yeah,
cosmetics.
that was great. Like, I promise you, if Rory had not
They're
joined
all my favorite
tonight,
shows.
it would have been a lot more spaced out, because it was so easy. It's so easy for me to make conversations with somebody like Rory, because I already have a preconceived notion of what he's doing, and it's just really easy for me to touch on that topic, and that was fun. That was fun conversation with him. It was great.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
equally with you, John. I love you, dude, and
Yeah, I love you too, brother.
I think that there's probably opportunities in the future, even if I go forward with like having very techie oriented streams, to to have your balance of conversation, because I don't want people to just entirely take me, because the moment that they do, people are going to fucking hate me, because it's there's so much happening right now
Yeah,
that
like I said, mate,
people are going to
you
have a
need
hard time absorbing,
yeah, you
and I
need that
like,
interaction. You need that
I do.
interaction and you need that balance. Wherever
Exactly.
it comes from, right? Yeah, and that will make for an interesting show.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
if it's all
So,
one way, like it's not going to work so well,
well,
right?
so expect that in the future. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm sort of working out my work life balance right now, but I do want to do something, and I somehow feel like it's probably going to be technology focused, and I would love to have your presence on it, just for like another person with a human perspective, that might be different from mine, and I think you'll be great for that. I think you'll be amazing. So
Yep. Look forward to it, Dave.
yeah, awesome.
No, Lana, we were trying to end it, but then we didn't. We thought it was,
Yeah,
but then it wasn't.
I'm gonna
So,
end it on my end right now because I'd really
Ilana, you
need to
want to
go.
join
I need to
us?
go to
No.
bed. But because
Aw,
yeah, if I don't go to bed soon, I'm going to really
okay.
not be happy with myself tomorrow.
John D, I'll
But
see you
yeah,
in the rabbit holes. I'll see you in the rabbit holes,
Yeah,
John D.
yeah.
All right, love
Thanks,
you guys.
Sandie.
Thank you everybody for watching.
Thanks for the show, mate.
It's
Enjoyed
been great, you guys. Thank you, everybody. Love you guys. Woo, woo. Till next time. Poetry, music.